What's up, everybody? I'm back for another episode of the PG Sports Podcast. Today, our special guest is the champion, Jamel Herring. About to send it to him right now. Get him in this live. It's about to be lit. Because now I got the sound effects. And check. Go.
Oh,
What's up? How's it going?
what's up, bro?
Oh, you shaved.
I know.
Yeah, I'm not doing it.
Gotta shave every now and then now.
You there?
Yeah, man.
Oh. Yeah.
Like I said,
Yeah.
the quarantine life, gotta shave every now and then now.
Yeah. I'm just going. I'm not shaving.
Oh yeah, I see, bro.
Yeah, I was just trying to pull up sound effects. I was like, yeah, where do I find these? Because I was like, I just want to start playing playing some shit. So what's new?
Nothing new, bro. Just staying busy. Interacting with everybody, of course. Just keeping everybody updated. Also checking on people, see how they're doing. But yeah, man, it's crazy, man. It's crazy out here, man.
You sick of doing live interviews? I've seen you do it a lot. I was just like,
I mean, the live interviews is actually keeping me occupied and busy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So if I could just speak, just like for me, just like having a conversation with a good friend. So just catching up with everybody and staying in tune with the world.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I've been going live like every day, but I think next week I'm going to take a little break because I've been getting too many.
Yeah, I feel you, man. Yeah, I was checking, like, I was on a roll the last 2 weeks. I'm like, yeah, I feel maybe I'll take a day or two off for a while coming soon.
Yeah, definitely. How have you been staying in shape during this?
Oh, I get out here. Like, today's a nice day, so I'll probably go out for a run. You know what I mean? Just cardio work, just keep the weight down, keep the heart rate up, things like that.
Yeah, for sure. So you got the Yankees hat on. Obviously, baseball's not happening, but
yeah, right, exactly, man. Everything's not happening.
Yeah, I just saw they're trying to plan something out for like June or July and have a 100-game season.
I mean, that's better than what the NBA is going through, at least. You know what I mean?
I think the NBA just, even like if everything comes back, they just gotta have the playoffs.
That's what they should do. Just go straight to the playoffs, man. Just make the most of it.
Like it's gonna suck if there's like no champion.
Yeah.
Speaking of champions, how is it? Because I mean, obviously, me and you talked like personally, but how has your life changed since you won the belt?
For the most part, I just gained. I've gained more respect throughout the boxing world, of course.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of me as a person, it's still the same guy. But definitely a lot. I think a lot is placed on my shoulders, though. Now everybody wants to see how far you can take it as a champion, things like that. But for the most part, me being who I am, that hasn't changed. But I just say, like I said, I got more responsibility now as a champion, especially when you got more eyes on you. You got to conduct yourself in a certain manner. But yeah, things been good though. I can't complain, bro.
You think more people are calling you out now?
The crazy part is, like, the people I wish that would call me out aren't calling me out, like like the other world champions. But of course, when you are a champion, you'll have a target on your back, of course, and you have individuals that call you out. But like, it hasn't been like nothing that's been really intriguing in my opinion.
Yeah. What about? But what does it feel like to be a world champion? Like, obviously, that's everyone's goal when they start boxing.
Right.
And you finally did it.
It's a dream come true, bro. Like I said, man, especially in the boxing world, it's hard to get to climb the mountain and climb to the top. You personally know I've had my ups and downs, but like I said, when once you get there and you look back on how how you got there, it's like everything it was all worth it, So it was like nothing went to waste. I didn't waste. I don't have any regrets. I didn't waste any time, in my opinion. But yeah, definitely feels great.
Yeah, then you picked up the belt like personally in New York, right?
Yeah. Pretty much. After I won the fight, that was basically his
Yeah.
the key.
Wait. Let's talk about that because people that aren't like
people don't
boxing
know.
heads
People don't. Yeah, they
don't get like. I remember one of the anchors on ESPN. He just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, that was dope." Like Jamel gave him the belt back, but you're like, "No, like that's actually his belt. Like I get a fresh, brand new one."
Yeah, pretty. That's his belt. Like you know, you see, if you look at them closely now,
Yeah.
every champion usually has their name imprinted in the
Yeah.
belt or whatever. Especially how they had to do with like now with like the WWE and everything like that when they got their name or logo or whatever imprinted in the belt. But yeah, like once you basically lose your title or you move up a weight class and you forfeit your title or whatever, that title you have in on hand, it basically becomes a trophy, as you said. You know, it
Yeah.
becomes a trophy now. And then the new champion, he gets they get, you know, he or she, they get their own custom belt made for them, you know, to keep and you know, to represent from there on. But yeah, for the most today's world, champions, whenever they titles change hands, they keep that old title that has their, you know, their name and the date they won it on and encrypted in it and everything like that. And then the sanctioning bodies, they make a new title. They a brand new title for, you know, the new champion.
Yeah. Where do you keep the belt?
I keep mine in my living room in the case, man. I don't even have it on display. Mine still stays in the case. Like it's so crazy. Like when I first got it, I was always, you know, I was always looking at it, but now it's like it's just there. Like I just now I want like more of the other titles, but you know, as time goes along, I'll probably create a whole trophy case, you know, stack all my belts at. But right now, it just stays in the case, so no one doesn't mess with it.
What about have you had any like crazy fans pull up on you, be like, "Oh my God, Jamel, what's up?"
I mean, if people, like, you know, when I go to the fight, I go everywhere. So you know,
Yeah.
when I was going everywhere, I go to the fights. You know, of course, you know, people come up to you, want to talk, you know, take pictures. You know, me, I'm cool. I'm cool with it. You know, I look at it, it's all love. You know, if people take time to admire you, you can at least give 2 minutes of your time to, you know, take a picture or, you know, say hello and, you know, just have a small conversation with people. But
Yeah.
yeah, people definitely come up to me that more than often now. But it's all good.
Has anyone ever just like say you're like at like a public place and just like stare at you because they think you know who you are but they don't
Yeah,
know, or like
yeah,
scared to approach you?
yeah. Until like, and then it like hits them like, as I'm like, especially when I'm like walking by, then it hits them. Oh, that's your bell hair, and then like, hey, what's going on? And, you know, we'll probably stop and talk for a while. But yeah, definitely, people do at times just like stare until it hits them. Like, I think that's what's his name, but I'm not sure. And, oh, that is
Yeah.
him. And yeah, man, it's bugged out, but it's all good.
Yeah. What about how do you a little different. I don't know if anyone ever asked you this, but how do you like pick out your designs for your trunks? Like how do you pick out the color schemes and stuff?
It's crazy. I probably, you know, it's funny. Like I just come off the top of my head. Like I know for like my first world title fight, that was already planned because that was something I always told myself I was gonna do. I was gonna come out with my hometown colors, which is purple and gold.
Okay.
Because I used to play football, PB football when I was like 10 years old. For my like the first sport I played was football at 10 years old, and the team their colors were.
I'll play. I got some new sound effects. Yo, what's up?
What's going on?
Yo, we're having an intermission since Jamel is just chilling in his car. So we got Sonny Kanto in his car.
What's going
What's
on,
up?
everybody? How are you guys?
How's it going?
I'm headed to train in Philly right now. Get a little workout in. I woke up a little late. I was playing that Call of Duty.
There you go.
Dogs. But yeah,
You going to a secret gym?
I got my own gym.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so I got it's everything going on with the coronavirus and everything. It's just me in there. So, but
Yeah, for
yeah,
sure.
why don't you get Jamel back in here? I
Yeah.
know this time.
I got you. I'll have you. I'm gonna DM you. I'll have you on.
Sure.
All right. Thanks. All right. Let's see. We'll go back. Oh man. What's up? There we go. The Jamel show. The Jamel Herring show is down.
My bad.
No, it's all good. So yeah, so we were talking about your color schemes for your trunks.
Yeah. But like I said, the most part, I try to keep something that probably close to my Marine Corps colors.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, every now and then, I probably throw something out there off top. Like, I think even for the Frampton fight, I was planning on wearing white and gold, but you know, I don't know. Like, I had to change it up now because I don't know when we'll get back in the ring. But yeah, bro.
Yeah, the last fight, that was crazy coming out in the, what's it, Humvee?
Yeah, the Humvee. Yeah, that wasn't my idea. Like, I had nothing, like, I knew nothing about that until, like, a few days before, to be honest with you, bro. Because, my guy, Rick,
Yeah.
Rick out there, Fresno, he was like, oh, bro, I got a prize, like that. Yeah, that's just him, man. So I'm like, okay, whatever, man. He's like, he actually wanted to come in, he wanted to come in a helicopter. That's the crazy part. Yeah, he wanted, like, like he wanted to come in a helicopter on Center Field, and then we would just go from there. Like, but I think he couldn't get it approved in time because, like I said, everything like the week of, and he was like, "All right, we'll just do this. We'll just bring out a Humvee and we'll line up all the troops and yada yada yada." And that's how that came apart. What's going on?
That was definitely one of those. I think it's going to be in like the top 10 entrances.
Yeah, that was dope. It was dope. And then like he wants to do something like they want me to come back to Fresno, but he wants to do something different. So I'm like, I don't know, like how can you top that? But
I mean, if you get the helicopter.
Oh yeah, man.
Oh man, yeah, you gotta get the helicopter. How about you get the helicopter? You jump out of a parachute.
Man, we'll never gonna fight, bro.
Oh man, yeah, so that's crazy because it was like you said, it was sort of unplanned.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who'd you have to get that approved by? Like the top rank have to approve it?
I think top rank. He had to get that. He had to get like the fireworks approved by the city and yeah, man. I don't even want to wrap my head around it because it seems like it's just too much. So I was just like, hey, good job.
Hey, if it happens, it happens.
Yeah, exactly, man. But I'm not even. I don't even want to even think about even getting into the detail because it was just too much.
Yeah. What else have you been doing? Like, what have you been doing that you didn't get the chance to do, like, since you were training all the time?
Since I was training all the time, I've just been doing a lot of course, work in the house and actually been catching up more. Like I haven't played like games and things like that in like months because I'm always on the run. I'm always busy, especially in camp. I don't have time for it. But like since now, man, just a lot of PS4, bro.
You're a teacher now too, right?
Oh yeah, homeschool as a kid. I think every teacher right now, bro. But shout out, shout out to the parents out there. Keeping the stress level down and handling their business.
Yeah, school's almost over though, right?
Yeah, out in Cincinnati. I don't think school ends in like May. Like this month, sometime this month, matter of fact.
Yeah, it's crazy that kind of, even though, I mean, we were inside for the last month, I feel like it kind of went by pretty fast.
I mean, but some of these kids feel like it's vacation start early. I'm telling you, man, it's crazy.
Yeah. I know the Frampton fight is possibly happening. Obviously, we don't know yet. But is that like, regardless, if like say everything clears up, is that the fight that's like definitely gonna happen?
Yeah, it's crazy because watching the news, no fights happening. Well, no international fights because the borders are gonna close. So that's the really only issue. The issue not just about not having fans and people in attendance. The real issue with that fight is when would the government open up the border again for people to fly in, from like the UK and Europe, things like that. So that's the real thing that people were talking about now. But it's still a fight that's definitely going to happen. It's just a matter of when and where.
Yeah. Yeah, I seen it go back and forth. First it was overseas, then it's in New York, then it's overseas.
Think about it, bro. That's not even me. That's like first I went in, went in over there where he's from. Then he come back and said, "I would love to fight in the Garden." I'm like, yo, like we could have been just. I was like,
I'm gonna put out. You might as well guys go fight on an island.
Pretty much, man. That's why Dana White. He built the island.
Yeah.
Fight. That was kind of smart.
Yeah, I think I said it yesterday too, but I think if that really happens, then that's gonna make everything else happen for boxing and MMA.
Oh yeah. Come on, man. Especially I think it's gonna happen. I mean, not even just boxing, but just sports in particular. Period.
Yeah.
Once somebody lays out, the plan, the blueprint, all the other of course, organizations and sports are gonna start picking up on it and trying to implement the same thing. Because like I said, at the end of the day, you and I both know, man, it comes down to business. And like a lot of these especially these networks, they need content. They need content. So that's the thing I've been hearing around, from people that I personally know, is that ESPN, they want content. So they're gonna do whatever they can, crowds with no crowds, just to get content back on TV. So that's definitely the big talk that's been going around as of late.
Yeah, we need the Jamel Herring show.
Oh yeah, man, we've been trying to get that. Plus, I'm gonna keep pushing that. Well, actually, it's crazy. I was actually supposed to be doing something with Christina Poncher about that. It was actually her idea. She actually wanted to bring me on board for something. We like I said, we actually did a pilot. It's funny. We actually did a pilot the weekend of the Fury Wilder rematch. We actually did a pilot in Vegas, and they loved it. And then we get hit with this.
Yeah.
We got hit with the.
Is that something that you always like doing? Like, I know you like enjoy like entertaining like outside the ring.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially like I look at it like this. It's fun, just to interact with people and sit down with good people and just have a conversation like, such as you and I, bro. Like, we're just having, like, to me, like with you and I, we're just having like a regular conversation. It's not like it's like a forced thing or it feels like an interview. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing about with me. Like when I sit down and talk, I want it to feel like it's natural. You know what I mean? So if I was, if you can do something like that and do it as a hobby or a second career, that's definitely something I look into. People always say I need to start doing commentating, some commentating and things like that. But those things that I'm definitely looking into. But right now I'm just focusing on getting back to the normal things of life and getting back to my own personal career in boxing.
Yeah, for sure. I know. I see Bomac doing double duty with the commentating that he's in the corner. How does he do that?
Well, the thing is, he actually enjoys it because he says it gives him an opportunity to actually scout. Whether it's potential talent that may want to sign on board or talent that we may have to face down the road. So he gets the chance to look at them up close. First one to look up to them close. So that's just Bo just likes to do it, and he likes to share his knowledge of the sport. So he enjoys it.
Yeah, for sure. Junior asked, "Who's your boxing inspiration?"
Oh man, it's too many, man. It's so many. You can go back from like, the Joe Lewis's, the Ali's, the De La Hoyas, the Whitakers, the Morales. There's just there's a lot of greats that I actually looked up to coming up. I can't just decide on one. Like me, just pay my respects to everyone, and I don't have a preference. If you did amazing things in the ring, I definitely give you your respect, and but yeah, there's just too many. Bro.
Yeah. Who's the best ping pong player at the Terrence Crawford house?
But that dude's competitive, man. You ever noticed? I've never played ping pong with him.
Yeah, I know. I never seen you play. I've seen everyone else play.
No, he plays ping pong. He does darts.
Yeah, you guys need a real world show.
Man, I'm telling you, man. Then he has a ranch. He has a ranch now where he goes out just to shoot shit up and like I don't know, man. Bud is competitive at everything, bro.
When I had Shakur on last year, he said that he was beating everybody in video games.
I can believe it. And then because I think Shakur is the reason why Bud now is so heavy on like Call of Duty himself because for the longest I've rarely seen Bud play video games, but since when he gets challenged, now he wants. Oh yeah, man.
It's funny.
Bud wants to do everything. Like I think Bud, if you challenge Bud to a game with double dutch, I think he'll try to take that up. Very.
Yeah. Did you hear me before? I said you guys should have like a real world type show.
I mean, think about it, Julie. My PR rep. She actually wanted us to start our own series, like an internet series, whatever, for like one week. And she probably will because like there's a lot of stuff that that you catch, but it's crazy more stuff that that people don't get to see, man. Like, people think because for the most part people think when Bud, because of how his demeanor is and when he fights, that he's always serious. Like, no, man, Bud's actually like a big kid. So like when you know him, all he wants to do is have fun and play games, and of course, like I said, challenge you to things. But Bud is probably one of the coolest people I know today.
Yeah, every time I watch you guys, it just reminds me of like college and just like living with all my friends and
like like especially when we're in camp, it's like one big ass frat house. If you look at one big ass frat house, man.
Hey, look, I want to show the people what I was talking about before with that.
Shout out to Fresno.
What about were you nervous up there?
Nah, man,
Just
because
like standing up.
you know me, I've been on my man Drock. He said Herring versus Valdez. You know, it's crazy. You know, Valdez is my number one contender, and I try to get that fight. And I actually try to get that fight before the Frampton fight because I knew Valdez was moving up, and I know he was going to be the guaranteed mandatory. But you know, he decided to go another way, which was the Berchelt fight. But you know, if things happening down the road, you know, we can always come back to that fight. But you know, I would definitely take that fight. And yeah, of course, I plan on moving to 135. I mean, no time soon, of course, because I said there's a lot of good fights at 130. But there will be a time where I do plan on moving back up to 135, and we'll just see from there.
Yeah, Valdez he fought one fight at 130 right now, right?
Oh, yeah, he fought the same night that Frampton fought out in Vegas.
Oh yeah, that was the one where the person pulled out, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. What else was I gonna say? What's something like people that don't know about you?
That I could actually be a computer geek. Like I literally, I think I would look up technology before I look up shoes and clothing and things like that. That's just me, bro. Like I'm more into technology. Like, you know, yeah, Valdez did almost get stopped, but he fought out. But yeah, that's something about me, bro. I'm more into tech. I'm not too big on like, you know, clothing and things like that.
Yeah. What have you been doing like on your computer or anything? Like, what do you like messing around with? Like, do you like trying to make stuff?
Software to try to get around things, man. Like that's just me, man. I try to take shortcuts on everything. If I got, and if something out there that I can, you know, do it with, you know, that's just me. But you know, I think I've been doing like a lot of more trying to like learn more with like editing, you know, video and things like that. Like I said, man, maybe a time where I just start my own internet thing. Yeah. Myself from the MacBook, but yeah, man, that's just me.
Yeah, so you just got on TikTok recently too.
Oh yeah. Guys, bro, you gotta get busy, man. I'll go crazy. No, because you know me, bro. Like I'm always moving around. I'm always on the go. So I was like, okay, now I'm stuck in one spot. I gotta do different things to get the hours on the clock. You know,
you gonna do any of the TikTok dances with your kids?
Man, they trying to, bro. But I want to on, bro.
Oh man, what about your kid going to your kids too? Do you want them to play any sports? Are they playing any sports?
I mean, for the most part, like my daughters, like they one is doing cheerleading, one was doing track. I mean, I just want them to do anything that keeps them busy instead of just sitting in the house all day. Because you know, you see a lot of kids today, they just sit on iPads and their phones all day. But like for me, even my sons, like, they play like soccer and things like that. But as long as they're just staying busy and getting into something, it doesn't have to be boxing. Like I'm always gonna support it.
Yeah. Does do any of them want to box?
It's crazy. My junior does. I think he's the only one. So like he wants me to send him some gear, which I will. But his mother is definitely hesitant on letting him box. But,
yeah. When did you? Oh yeah, you started late, anyways. Right? Yeah, you started in high school.
16 years old. I started when 16 years old.
16? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then I had to take all the layoffs because you know the military first, so you gotta take breaks in between, and you gotta train and do that. So it's hard to do boxing, but you know I had to basically become a fast learner when I was able to compete in amateurs and things like that. Hey, yeah. Angie and yeah, Andrea, she was with me. She was actually with me in the for the Olympics. She was our translator because she went down to Brazil, down in Rio de Janeiro, and that's where I met her at, and we just stayed connected. But yeah, she was down there when I was qualifying for the Olympics out in Rio de Janeiro, which is crazy, man. People see a whole different outing on the internet or on TV, but man, it's rough out there, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, speaking of the Olympics too, what are your thoughts about the Olympics getting postponed? And like, you think like the other thing I've been thinking about is, so are they still gonna have like the next one on 2024? Are they gonna change it? But I guess they probably won't.
Nah, they just everyone right now is waiting to 2021. So I mean, I feel for the kids, of course, that they work, but happy to see that a lot of them are still deciding, just to stick it out for the year and, wait for the next summer, next summer to come around. But definitely, man, I feel for them, man, because like I said, I don't think I could have done it, but. Like I said, safety becomes first. Safety before anything. So health, health comes first. It's crazy. I just lost my one of my close friends. Her mother just passed away yesterday from the virus. So,
Damn.
but yeah, man. So yeah, man. Like I said, this stuff is serious out here. But yeah, gotta take care. People gotta just take care of themselves out here. Simple fire.
Hey, what about how's your family in New York? Because I know New York's like the
Yeah,
worst.
that's what my friend that she lost her mother.
Oh,
York. So yeah, New York is definitely like a war zone out there, man. Shout out to all the essential workers out there and healthcare providers that's that's doing overtime, maximum. But yeah, for the most part, like I said, my family they've been good and well for the most part. But I know a couple of friends off the top of my head personally that's already contracted the virus out there, man.
yeah, same. Um, Someone asked, "Do you think boxing is going downhill compared to before?"
It all depends. I mean, I think not including the whole epidemic thing, whatever. But I think like the only issue with boxing today is because everybody wants to be a businessman now, and it's like it hampers from having good fights that we all want to see. Like people are tired of like the bickering, people seeing fighters that they want to see fight back and forth on social media. People want to see the fights happen now. Like, of course, everyone's looking for the Errol Spence and Bud Crawford fight, and before the Fury fight and Wilder, people wanted to see the Joshua and Wilder fight before they both suffered the defeat. So I think that's the real issue with boxing, man, is that it's too much going on behind the scenes, but a lot of good fights aren't being made because everybody wants to be the businessman and argue what they deserve and this and that and the third.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of businessman, I know you're a businessman yourself now, and obviously you're an older champion, I'd say. But
Me?
yeah, but I'm saying like,
Oh.
what made you want to get into starting to think about like life after boxing?
Of course, man, because like I said, you can't box forever, man. Like, that boxing window is very small. You gotta get in there while you can. But for the most part, for me, what I'm doing now is I'm actually planning ahead, not when I'm done boxing, what can I do next? No, I'm actually planning ahead now. So I'm actually trying to I am imagine fighters, especially young fighters, I'm mainly focused on talent. Fighters that I feel are special get their foot in the door.
Great.
What's going on, Gunny?
Yeah, you
What's going
froze
on,
there.
Pressure?
I got you now. What else was I about to say? Oh yeah, what have you learned from like the beginning of your career, like on the business side? What have you learned from like your first fight to like now?
Man, first fight to now, I learned this business is cutthroat.
Yeah.
It's a business, man. Like, I mean, it's ruthless out here in boxing, man. Like I said, that actually is a problem why we have a lot of issues with certain fights being made because everyone has their own thing, and like a lot of these big promoters that can't get on the same page or whatever. But for the most part, I try to stay in my own lane and just focus on what I am in control of. But yeah, man, like it's rough out here, man.
Yeah. I mean, I think almost every fight that you put out on Twitter pretty much happened for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Besides Burchell, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, that's this fight that possibly could potentially happen, but I think he probably will go up soon because Patel is a big dude, even at the weight as well. And I know he's had the issues with the weight, but we'll see, man. Like I said, right now, focus on the Frampton fight and go from there.
That's what I meant to ask you. I saw you did the interview with Frampton. How did that come about? And like, was that like weird?
That
Since
that was
that's
top.
different.
You know me, bro. If I could sit down and talk to you one on one before we fight, we can sit down and talk. But it was a good conversation. It wasn't ugly as you seen. You know, it
Yeah.
was no animosity because me, I don't take things personally. Even though, like I said, for the most part, if you look, his team has been doing the most talking in the media. But I just sit back and observe things and go from there. But when I see people talking as much and trying to look for loopholes and figure out, he can't do this. I feel like, they're just nervous at times and they're just looking for a reason to build themselves up. Because, like, for me, I haven't said anything, negative about them, but because I know and I see things, I see things that he can and can't do. So, like, I already have the game plan in my head. My team is already, we already have a game plan on how we want to approach the fight, but we're not going to go out there in the media and tell you, well, he can't do this well. I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit because then you're going to work on it in camp. So I'm going to keep it all to myself. But, yeah, but for the most part, Carl's not a bad dude. He's a good dude. He has, like I say, he's a gentleman. He's a family man. So it was a respectful conversation. But, bro, like once we get in there, we got to put our, differences to the side and go to work.
So I know you're a nice guy. Would you ever fight somebody you beat them and then would you go out with them?
Would I ever? I would if we fight in New York. Yeah, I mean, we can go fight and get a New York slice afterwards, man. But yeah, man. But the real question is, if there ever be a time where I probably won't shake anybody's hand? I think I almost had that moment last year, man. Like with the situation. But me, I brushed it up afterwards, and because I'm in like I said, I'm in a whole different level now. So it's like I don't have to stoop down or jump out of character to prove anything.
Yeah.
What weight do I think is the most chaotic? I would say
welterweight.
Yeah, the 154 division, the 154 division, because I don't know what's going on. Like, there's a lot of good fighters at the junior middleweight, but they're not making any moves. When you gonna knock? I can't leak that out either because then he's gonna look for the round and try to play very defensive. But yeah, like I'm real hungry for that fight because when I see things, people do a lot of talking. I just sit back and just let it just build up and let it motivate me. Like I don't lash out like that, but I'm definitely looking forward to that fight.
What does a knockout feel like?
A sign of relief because you don't get paid overtime, and once you get a knockout, you're still gonna get paid the same. You're gonna get paid for going 12 rounds, but it basically, I look at it like this, like it basically keeps you from potentially getting any damage further on in the fight. So the quicker you get it done, the quicker you get back to being at home with the family and resting up.
I think 135 and 154 will be very interesting after.
Yeah, definitely. 35. Once we get this one thing back on roll, everybody's looking at the Lomachenko Teofimo fight, of course. So that's gonna be good. But yeah, 154. We need to get a lot of good fighters up there, but a lot of them, as of late, haven't been, signing on to fight each other. So that's what I wanted to see. But of course, we want to put the welterweight division in there and the heavyweight division. That's a gimme. But I think 154 is definitely interesting division. So I want to see unification fights at.
Yeah, as a fan, I still want to see Joshua Wilder.
Yeah, of course. We all want to see that. I think it'll happen. Like I said, heavyweight division, everyone at one point in time, it seems like everyone does come around to fight each other in the heavyweight division. Because, like I said, heavyweight division is like one of the divisions. You can take a loss, but it doesn't really affect you as long as you're going out there the next fight to knock somebody out. Knocking people out, people are going to still tune in. But definitely want to see that fight between the two potentially biggest punches in the division.
Would you want to see Fury Wilder, sir?
I don't know, man. I think I've seen enough in the first two fights, man. Like, in my opinion, I thought Fury won the first fight. Even with the whole knockdown, I thought he edged it because he was basically winning most of the rounds by just boxing. And out of those 12 rounds, he got knocked down twice. But I still thought he did enough to win that fight. But then the second fight, man, he left. He surprised me. I thought he was going to just go box to a decision, but man, he surprised all of us. And yeah, bro, the champions in the 54 division, they definitely changed a lot. Because 1 minute this guy's on top, then he gets knocked out, then somebody's like, it's crazy. So it's like it's like definitely chaotic at 154, man.
What about if you actually do this Jamel Herring show or whatever? Who would you want to interview, like a non boxer, Ross?
Non-boxer, I'd probably say Russell Westbrook. Russell is an interesting, you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely. That's the crazy thing about it. Me and Christina, we actually talked about that. We wasn't gonna just like focus on just boxing. We wanted speak with just athletes in general. So that's definitely something that we spoken about. But yeah, definitely Russell, man, because Russell is an interesting dude, man.
What would you want to know about him that you don't know?
I need to know where he gets his sense of fashion from, man. That's what I want to. Where that's if you want to talk about me about Ring Time, we gotta talk about Russell. Like, where did he post press conferences? Like, where did they come from, man? But him and of course Cam is the number one. But definitely talk about Russell and his his fashion and just especially his leadership because. At one point in time, the Thunder had a strong unit, and then everyone started parting ways, and they became stars on other teams and everything. But he stuck to with the franchise. But definitely Russell Westbrook.
Would you let him design one of your trunks?
No, no, man. I'll take some pointers, but I'm gonna let him go. Get the 100% or the goal for it now. What's up, Sylvia?
What about have you been watching the Michael Jordan documentary?
Yeah.
What's your take so far on
it? Man, people today they won't let things go, bro. Like
Isaiah Thomas.
I love LeBron James and his game, but when you put Michael Jordan on, everybody compare what's going on today. Yeah. First target is LeBron James, and everybody ever was different. Every era was different. You had, the 80s and 90s when everyone was out there fist fighting on the court. And, of course, we got the era now when people, that's not accepted now. But it's like, basketball involves, but like every, generation has their star. Like, you had the Wilt Chamberlain, in this era. You had the Larry Birds and the Magic of this era. You had the, so it's like I just respect everyone for what they do now. Like even with boxing, I don't like to compare, this fighter would beat this fighter if they fought back. I don't do all that because, like I said, we at the end of the day, we wouldn't know. We don't know what happened. But definitely respect Michael for his greatness, but also, give credit to the rising stars and stars that we have today. So instead of just trying to knock them down and always compare them.
Yeah. I know you're a Yankees and Knicks fan, but who's your favorite football team?
Jets.
Oh, okay.
Suffering. I'm suffering, man. New York, look, Yankees the only thing that we got going good for us, man. Like we're suffering. Like the last we had a good Knicks squad was probably in the mid to late 90s, early 2000s. Then after that, I don't know what's been going on with the franchise. The Jets, I think the last we got to the playoffs was probably 2011, and we had a good run. And it's like every time we came across the Patriots, you can forget about it. I think 1 year, Colts, and I was like, oh, okay, it's gonna be. Then we got eliminated the next round. So I'm like, man, I can't. Then I got to. Then being a Jets fan, you got to hear, trash talk from the Jets fans. So I was like, it's hard, man.
I feel you. I'm a Dolphins fan, so I feel you. And it's gonna be interesting this year.
I mean, like the biggest rivalry in that conference is in that division is Dolphins and Jets. It's like it goes back and forth with the wins. I'm like, damn Dolphins, man.
So that's why I think it'll be interesting since obviously Tom Brady left. So now it's like kind of open.
It left a lot now because like Tom Brady was a huge factor in that in that division like that. So I'm like, after he left, I'm like, I'm interested to see how it looks, but still, man, like the Jets, they don't always pick up the greatest picks either. Like y'all have like the opportunity to pick up great, draft picks, and y'all go do the total opposite for some reason. There's not taking anything from who they pick up, but it's like we all seen it. Like they have opportunities to pick up great athletes, and they pass on for something totally different.
Yeah. Do you think Tom Brady? So I asked people this question before. Do you think Tom Brady would be considered the GOAT of GOATs of like all sports if he wins the Super Bowl this year, first year in Tampa, and the Super Bowl in Tampa?
Yeah, but you know they're gonna say, "Oh, the Patriots are cheaters." Like I don't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about. Hey, if we want to talk about cheaters, let's talk about Houston. You know, and
Yeah.
that's a whole different topic. I know I got a lot of people from Houston that I rock with, but yeah, man, you gotta. That's that's another argument. People always say, "Well, Tom Brady was, his kicker was the one who won the games," and you know how that goes, bro. But I think at the end of the day, it's leadership. So Tom Brady, man. He doing, hey, but at the same time, his squad was killing people left and right, man. So he must be doing something good as an individual.
Yeah. So do you really think I think EJ Aerosmith,
Yeah.
he would be in Floyd in his prime?
I don't know. EJ, I'm gonna talk to EJ when I speak to him on that one, man. Because EJ, like I said, if he believes that, that's his belief. But everyone had a game plan for Floyd, and it just didn't go out as planned. But right now, EJ didn't defeat it. He's doing his thing. He's definitely a strong welterweight. I sparred with EJ a few times in the past. Strong dude, but I never know. I mean, let's Floyd come back. Floyd's in the gym or something. But if no one's stepping up for a unification in the junior division after they went Frampton, it's likely to see a unification. Oh, but my boy JoJo, we spoke about that. We spoke about that last week. Me and JoJo spoke about that on live. JoJo basically said, and I agree with him, if the people want to see the fight, we're brothers. We were Olympic teammates, of course. So JoJo, my little brother, but people want to see the fight. We'll fight. It's just the business of boxing. It's a sport. I mean, Kobe and LeBron were close friends, and they played, play the game together and still have respect for each other. So I could do that in boxing. You know what I mean? So if people want to see that fight between me and JoJo, we can do it.
That wouldn't be weird, dude.
Nah. I think the build up would, because I won't be looking to trash nobody and things like that. This would be JoJo. Like me and JoJo got a lot of chemistry, and we go way back. Yeah. But like I said, we seen fights before. We're friends for each other, so
like Sean Porter and Keith Thurman.
Oh man, that was Sean Porter for anybody, man.
So I asked you a lot of questions. You got any questions for me?
Man, what you got coming up next, bro? Because I see you always, I know you, bro. You always thinking. Wheels is always churning, man. So I know you. Like I said, I love what you're doing with the podcast for sure, bro. I keep that up because, like I said, I get to actually view and not just with fighters, but I get to see other athletes from different sports and just learn what they go through. But definitely, yeah, bro, what you been doing? Cause I know you always got something cooking up, man.
Yeah. So actually, I mean, during quarantine, which is kind of crazy, I even learned new things and did new things. Like now, I'm like for the Average Savage one, I started doing the video like Zooms interviews.
Right.
So now I'm like doing these two. I'm like, yo, I can never go back to just like voice, like just on the phone.
Nah, hey, hold on.
Miss me. I was saying like
the Army is better than the Marine Corps. Hey, I'm gonna say this. It's true. I have in boxing because we have an armed forces tournament. I have never lost to a soldier. Just saying that. So yeah, you can go on YouTube. The fight's still on YouTube from like 2011, 2012. I bloodied up U.S. Army soldiers. So, but a shout out to the Army, because I still got my brother Stephen Nelson, who I train with. He's an Army vet. That's when we met. We competed against each other in the armed forces. But I know Army may have better things in terms of technology than the Marine Corps, but I don't know. Everybody can't be a Marine. Just saying.
Steve Nelson, I see him doing everything.
Oh yeah.
He does everything.
You wouldn't even think that there's no hate. It's no hate. You wouldn't even think for Steve though that he was an Army vet, because he doesn't really portray that like that, but he portrays everything else. Like Steven probably right now is working on building a house. I guarantee it. He's probably out there building a house. something or painting a picture. I'm telling you, man,
When I
Steven.
saw him post like when he was making his own trunks, and I was just like, all right, this is pretty impressive. Like that's kind of hard to do. Like I don't like. I was just like, geez. Since you and Shakur are stablemates, you most likely won't fight each other in the future.
I mean, people like say me and Shakur, people don't know like we share the same gym when we go to training camp in Colorado Springs. We share the same gym. We have the same nutritionist. So I don't know how that worked. Like she's trying to meet me, you know what I mean? So it just that's why, like I said, no, like like Shakur when he says more than 130, you never hear him mention, fighting me because we work with the same people. Like we'll spar together. We'll spar with Bud, on the same day or whatever. So yeah, that's just like we have different trainers, of course, but at the same time we have like the same circle, and it's just that would just be like awkward as hell. Like that would be awkward, bro.
Yeah.
That would be awkward.
That's
bro.
why there's 4 belts.
Yeah, but I mean, it's plenty of room to spread.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, back to what I was saying. I was saying, so now I've been doing the video interviews. So now it's like, and then I did like one that was just on the phone, and now it's just like weird to me.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
It's like now I'm like, all right, the video interviews are way better.
All love, bro. Number 5 to you too, man. Like I said, all us armed forces cats, we gotta compete in somehow, but it's all love in the end of the day. But yeah, man, like I've been doing so much like video chatting that getting on the phone for an interview is like it feels like old fashioned now. But
yeah.
But,
well, I mean that's what I think one positive out of this whole pandemic is just like us using technology more.
I did that last week though too with the over for the UK. They had called me with the Frampton fight, and it was like they're doing it. It was on I think BT Sports in the UK, and I think I was gonna do like a video chat, and then they made me get on the phone. I'm like, what? Like, and so I had to like listen and wait to be called in and things like that. But it was just weird.
So how is sparring with Crawford? Who does he have who does he have special over there? With others, I don't understand that.
How sparring with Crawford? What does he have special over the? What does he do? This I think Bud is smart and he knows how to adjust. So like people see him fight southpaw a lot, but at times he knows when he needs to go back to his conventional stance and fight right-handed. Or he'll know if he has to box you or if he can't. If he knows you're probably slightly the better boxer, he knows how to make the adjustments to take you out of your comfort zone. Because we've seen fights where guys are like trying to outbox him, then he applies pressure or pressure. Or we've seen fights where he started outboxing. The more aggressive fighter, like when he fought Felix Diaz, he basically boxed a beautiful game. But sparring with him, man. I'm not gonna lie, sparring with him could be hell, bro. Because some days, like I'll get the best of him, and then like he'll remember that, and like Bud being competitive, he'll remember that, and then like 2 days later, I'm in there going through hell, bro. I'm not even gonna lie, like I'm going through hell. I'm like, fuck, like, bro, like he won't let me breathe because I'm the boxer, so of course, I'm on the outside, but like there's times when he just wants to just fight, and so we just gotta fight. Like there's been plenty of times when like we will just stay in the ring, like we're supposed to have a certain amount of rounds we do, but there's times when we're so competitive, like we'll just stay in the ring and just keep going and going and going until like we get yelled at by Bomac, like, okay, get the hell out the ring, y'all done. But yeah, man, for sure. Bud is definitely competitive. Hey, Boom, tell him, man. Hey, tell him, Boom. Bro. Because he sees it. Like when we start sparring out there, man, it gets crazy, but it never gets like personal or ugly. It just gets like real competitive in there, especially in Omaha, man. And like around this time, yeah, when it gets started to get hot out there, yeah, that heat adds a whole different element to the sparring session.
Someone asked, would you fight in Mexico? I'm assuming you would say yes.
Hell yeah, Chavez, that's my boy. Chavez was also a U.S. Marine and a U.S. Marine Corps boxer. So yeah, Chavez like over a decade ago. But yeah, why not? Hey man, I'm going.
You're fighting anywhere.
I got a passport for a reason.
Well, whenever all this clears up, I told you already, you got to come to Connecticut because we got to get some Connecticut pizza, New Haven style pizza. I got to tell you.
Big, bro, but I'm definitely coming out. Still represent the PG brand, bro. I had my Marine Corps PG Sports shirt on while doing the thing for the Garden yesterday on Zoom. I do the charity event for on Zoom, and I was like, let me get one of my favorite shirts on the PG.
I got to send you some new ones because I seen those were they're
Crazy.
getting a little.
I started pulling out one because you sent me so many, bro. I started pulling out ones that I haven't even wore yet. I'm like, and they just fresh. Oh,
all right. Hey.
I like all the little phrases you put on them. I'm feeling very competitive today. Put it I respect what you do, man. Keep doing it, bro. Like I said, I love it, man. I'm always gonna represent the brand for sure, man. Because what you do is positive. What you do is very positive. And yeah, man. Bell Bass or Madison Square Garden. To me personally, of course, I'm gonna say Madison Square Garden because I'm from New York. But if we could do it in Belfast on a football stadium, we call it soccer stadiums there, but football stadium, for 25,000 people, yeah, man, I'm there.
Yeah, what if you fought in MetLife?
Oh yeah, it's crazy. Woo. How
That'd
was
be crazy.
feeling when you won a
MetLife, and you come in a jet.
Oh yeah. It's that. How was your match with Masahiko when you won your title? Japanese, not just the Japanese boxers are good, but the Japanese people, they actually respect boxing a lot. I've had Japanese reporters I spoke to afterwards, and I gotta imagine they gave me a box, and I was actually featured in it, but it was in Japanese, so I can't read the damn thing. I got it as a collectible, but Ito was actually he's a tough dude, man. Like I know I hit him with some shots, and like because he later told his coach Rudy Hernandez that he got hit with some crazy shots, but like Ito, he just kept coming. Like his determination made up for what you could say his lack in experience because he hasn't been boxing that long. But for him to become a world champion and not have an amateur background, that's just amazing. But Ito was definitely he's definitely a special fighter. And I think with more time as he grows, he can become a champion again. But that was definitely a good fight.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole story, and then you just win the champ. Like it was crazy.
Yeah,
just meant to be.
Oh yeah, man. It was just my time, man.
It was actually funny because one of my friends he didn't tell me, and then like after you won, he showed me that he bet on your fight. He bet for you.
Yeah.
He
won big. I was a dog. So
yeah, I know. Yeah, I know that. Yeah. That was funny. It was funny because he was like, yo, I didn't know anything about Jamel Herring, but I just knew he wore your gear, and I was picking him.
Hey,
I was like, all right.
What's up when you speak to him? Top 3 fighters right now. Top 3: Lomachenko, Canelo, and Bud. Any order you want to put them at, but definitely big on Canelo, man. Canelo's definitely a special talent. Of course, we already know Lomachenko's capabilities, and like I said, if you got in the top 3, you're also gonna have to throw in Bud in there somewhere as well. So even number 1, 2, or 3, but those 3 are the top right now.
Yeah, I mean, Canelo keeps on impressing me, to be honest, because I'm like, all right. Yeah. He keeps on moving up and moving up and moving. I'm like, all right. Knocked out Kovalov. Like, come on.
Appreciate it, Chavez, bro. Love you, man.
All right, well, I'll let you go because it's about to end anyways. Appreciate you coming on. Obviously, appreciate the kind words.
Oh, yeah, bro. We talk anytime. Shout out to PG Sports, man. Keep doing your thing. Shout out to all the PG Sports athletes out there. Keep representing. And like I said, bro, we will talk again. Hopefully once this thing wraps up, I'll give you some more news on what's next. What are your thoughts on Devin Haney being handed? Hey, bro, I'm out of that.
Hey, we're dropping the mic on that. We're going out. We're going out like this.
Hey,
we're going out like this.
That's. I mean, Devin's my boy, but like I said, there's too much going on. Peace out. Love y'all, man. Super fire. Salute.
Yeah, I'll see you.